Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Do not adjust your television sets, your mobile devices, however you're tuning into to us tonight, because it is a Baracho Crew style takeover. Our main host, Josh, who I work every single week with, he couldn't be with us tonight. He's got some previous plans that could not be missed. I totally get it. A promoter runs his own show, badass guy. What can you do? Eventually, you're gonna have a Thursday you can't make it. But I am here as your main host, and I've got a lot to talk about. So let's just hop right into it because we've got several segments. First of all, Masha Slamovich is our guest tonight. We got Angel joining us, the Puro Bro. Mel is also going to join us and talk about AEW. So I won't waste any more time, and I'm going to get right into it. And honestly, the first thing that we're going to talk about is probably the saddest thing that we've ever had to talk about in the show, which is the unfortunate passing of Daphne. The Scream Queen. We won't go into the details of it all. We all know kind of everything went down, but the important thing to learn here is that if anybody out there feels like you're alone or you don't have anyone to talk to or things are just really stacking up, reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. That's what we're here for. Like, we can break down the fourth wall even and know that most of our viewers know that there are multiple Facebook groups that we're all in. And quite frankly, we're in them for a reason, like the militia, the family. These aren't really groups that any of us are a part of because we want to stay caught up with wrestling. These are groups that we are a part of because of the people that are a part of them, the reach that we can, what's up, Matt? Or the reach that we can connect with other people. Like, a lot of my friends, honestly, are not even close to me here. Like, we meet up once or twice a year at wrestling shows. So if you're lonely, if you're feeling pain, if there's anything, please reach out to somebody. Also, we're going to keep the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline on the bottom of the screen, the ticker, the whole show. Rest in peace, Daphne. What a great talent. Gone too soon. I hope this breakdown was enough to make everybody proud. Moving on to my next topic. So I'm the deathmatch guy. We cover deathmatch on this show. That's the great thing about Josh. He lets us talk about whatever we want. Those of you guys that follow my segment and listen, you know that we talk a lot about Neil Diamond Cutter. Neil Diamond Cutter has been in the pit. The Baracho Crew has got to spend a lot of time with Neil Diamond Cutter at other shows. We've got to hang out with him in Indianapolis and San Antonio. Like, this, Neil Diamond Cutter is honestly one of the craziest people I've ever met. But he's also one of the most genuine, nicest guys you'll ever meet. He's a hard worker. He's always got knowledge to share. You know, somebody had asked us about building something for a show recently. And I said, you know, we had the materials to do it. I don't know how to do it. I was just going to defer to Neil when I got there. That's really just the type of guy that Neil is. And this year, Neil has won the Insane 8 Deathmatch Tournament. For those of y'all that are a little less familiar, this is one of the newer, I don't want to say newer, it's a revived tournament. ICW Milwaukee up there runs it. It's a really great tournament. The last 4 years, it's been amazing. They ran one a long time ago, and they didn't run it for a few years, and then they revived it, I think, back in 2017. Oren Veit was a 2-time winner. Last year, I can't remember who won last year. Who cares? Because this year it's all about Neil Diamond Cutter. And what a tournament it was. I got a chance to watch it earlier in the week. It was a really great show. I can't think of anybody better here to win the Insane 8 than Neil Diamond Cutter. It really has been the year of the Honey Badger. For those of you that are even local indie fans, like a lot of you, I know a lot of us that watch the pit and tune in are old school ACW fans. Neil's worked at ACW before. He's worked heavy metal. He's worked several places. Like, Neil's a great dude. And honestly, it couldn't happen to someone better. Neil deserves it. I hope that Neil can finally get more recognition that he deserves because he's working really hard. He's up there with the likes of John Wayne Murdoch, Dale Patricks, Atticus Cogar. This is a guy that shows up, gives blood every show, works hard, constantly putting over other talent. Like, Neil doesn't care. Like, he will bust his ass in the match, bleed all over the place, and then he'll come help you break down the ring afterwards. Like, Neil's really about the business. So from us here in the pit all the way to Neil Diamond Cutter, congratulations, my guy, on your Insane 8 win. So I actually have 4 things to talk about. I'm not going to go into my next segment yet, so there's no need to put the picture up yet. I wanted to take a minute to remind everyone that we got PPW's Coronation coming up September 25th. We're only 3 weeks away, And we talked a lot about it last show. The people that were showing up for this match, it's a tag team tournament to crown PPW's first ever tag team champions. And boy, we got some heavy hitters in this one. We talked about Lucha Legion showing up. We talked about Royal Taxation being in the mix. We talked a lot about how Soldiers of Fortune are going to be there. We talked about Cult of Crowley. So many big hitters in this tournament. Like, I can't remember them all. So sorry for anybody that didn't name. Also, we have Maddie coming to the show. She's got a challenge. She was supposed to challenge Chandler, but he's freaking busy. But anyway, I just want to shout out PPW because this card is stacked. It's September 25th, 3 weeks away. We're gonna see several tag team title matches up to one final tag team tournament final match, which is I think going to be a three-way, was what Josh said. But last and not least, we got Bryson Scott's Bro Pinche Machine Gun Open Challenge. Bryson's been killing it with this PPW belt. Those of y'all that saw him at Loco a couple weeks ago for the Texas Indie Showcase against Chris Carter, what a great match it was. And we all know that Bryson Scott gets to choose the stipulations for the match because that's the advantage of the Machine Gun Championship. Look at me, I sound like a white boy. Machine Gun. Anyway, make sure you get your tickets in there for September 25th because you got to be at Coronation. I'll be there. I know Josh is going to be there. We might even see Nastico. Y'all know he's been talking a lot of shit to Nastico, saying he'll let him come in. So you never know what we might see at PPW's Coronation. I also want to let everybody know, this is my bad. I totally forgot about this because I have so much time to talk. We are on Twitch now. That is crazy. That's right. For those of y'all that are really connected in social media, we are on Twitch. We're always looking for new ways to reach our viewers. We know we've been doing the podcast thing for a while because we do this live show every Thursday. We're recording it and putting it in the podcast. But now you can also catch us not only on YouTube, but on Twitch. I'm super excited about it. I will watch us on Twitch, but I'm here with you guys right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. Look for our Twitch. It's going to be ITPW Josh Damash. That's in the pit with Josh Damash. ITPW Josh Damash on Twitch. I can't say it anymore. Now, on to my last topic. We are in a big setup here. And for those of y'all that are not familiar with GCW, you should be, because GCW is about to run War Games. That's right. War Games as a concept truly doesn't really belong to anybody. So we can put two rings together and have guys fight all day long. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're bringing back the Art of War, which is an old pay-per-view they did a while back, and they're calling it the Art of War Games. We have 440 faces MDK. We all know 440 has been a side in thorn in GCW's side for a long time. Second Gear Crew and MDK, along with Alex Colon, they are ready to step up and be in this match. And I'm excited about this one because it's two rings connected together, put in a cage, and it's everyone in this match is death match. I know Gregory Irons, people give him a lot of shit, but real talk, Gregory Irons will be in a death match. Like, he'll take a tube, he'll take big spots. This is exciting. You have AJ Gray, Effie, Matt Justice, freaking Alex Colon, Nick Gage, and Mance Warner and Team MDK taking on all of 440, Ricky Shane Page, Atticus Kogar, Eric Ryan, the returning Eddie Only. Welcome back, Eddie Only. We're so happy you came back from your cigarette break. Finally, the Bev and Gregory Iron. You can't miss this one. There's a lot of people calling for a 440 turn, and I don't think that's the case. You guys are really thinking like low level there. This could happen at any time, but there's nothing to gain from Atticus turning on Ricky Shane Page here. Like, Atticus wouldn't take over 440. Not everybody in 440 is really rifting. There's not a general rift. I don't think that that's where this goes. I think GCW does what GCW does and lets all freaking 10 of these guys just fight it out. I'm excited. Everyone else should be excited. This is going to be Saturday before All Out. I believe All Out's on Sunday. But anyway, if you've got the time, check out this show. That is my 10 minutes. Whew. I'm excited. We're rolling right along because I'm still the host. Even though my segment is over, I am the host. And we got to move right on to our next segment. So let me go ahead and bring in one of my favorite people, another Baracho, the Funeral Bro.
Hey, what's up? Hey, take it. Sorry, a robot just landed in the spaghetti. So now take it out. Thank you. Okay. Single life dad. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what's going on, everyone? This is gonna be a pretty crazy weekend for New Japan, but let's go ahead and talk about what we need to talk about. Oh Lord, there's spaghetti everywhere. Okay, so I just want to point out, start off with since in Japan it's actually a day later. So this would have been Hanakamura's 24th birthday. This is another young lady who was really she's starting to hit her peak. She was going to be the lead person for Stardom, but unfortunately, on December 16th, she took her life. Due to some unfortunate circumstances with a show. But I just want to point out again, this is also very near dear to me as being a veteran. I deal with this all the time, unfortunately. But if you need help, please get help. There's always someone to talk to. There's always someone you can affect someone's life. So just just take time out of your day and just say hi, and kiss your loved ones. So because you never know what could happen.
Good
But
point.
let's go to the next slide. Okay, so we have, speaking of Stardom now. Now, see, if Hana Kimura, unfortunately, was still alive, she would have been part of this historic event right now. September 4th, September 5th. We have Wrestle Grand Slam at MetLife Dome. Now, it's been a long time since they've actually been at the MetLife Dome, and to actually start off the both events, we're actually having Stardom matches in the on New Japan World. Now, in the past, they have had Stardom matches prior to like Wrestle King's one not, but they were never broadcasted. This is the first time we're seeing Stardom stars in New Japan World. So I'm super excited. So let's go down. Okay, so we have Maika and Lady C. Lady C, she's actually a newcomer from like last year, so the fact that shown her is pretty amazing. Maika, she's actually from Donna del Mundo, which we'll talk about in a second, and they're gonna go up against Moto Watanabe and Saya. Now, anyone that is a big fan of Io Shirai, know she came from Stardom and she came from the group that they're called Queen's Quest. So this should be a pretty fun tag showing the greatness of Stardom. Next, so now we have Joe and Show. So they were part of a tag team called Roppongi 3K. The last big event, Show actually turned on Joe, which is very unexpected because everyone thought it was gonna be the opposite. So maybe now Show might actually get a personality. So that should be pretty exciting because the dude was plainer than a white piece of bread, but now he's actually shown some sparks, which is great. Now because they were part of the same Young Lion class, they've actually fought 52 times. With Yo actually having the most wins. So this should be pretty interesting. I fully expect for Show to actually win this because he's the one that's actually been on a
Right.
spark, and Joe has actually been on a downhill because he's been on a losing streak. So it should be pretty interesting to see what happens from here on out. So next. Now we have Cobb versus Okada. Now, anyone that saw the last big stadium event from last month saw Cobb and Okada have an amazing match, which unfortunately Okada beat Cobb. Actually, Okada has two wins over Cobb. So, would this be a rubber match, or will Cobb finally put it together and finally beat Okada? Now, what's pretty interesting is during the lead up to these matches, during the Road 2 shows, Cobb has been having the better end of Okada, and now that we're leading up to G1, I could fully expect for Cobb to get a big win to really push him and make him a star, a force to be dealt with at the G1. So that'd be exciting. Next, so we have the main event for night one. Oh yeah, I probably should have said this. It's 2 nights, by the way. It's 2 nights. So I'm going to talk about some of the major matches. Anyways, let's go back. So now we're talking about Ibushi and Tanahashi. Now this is happening really because let's see here. Oh yeah, now I remember now. Okay, so this is really happening because Tanahashi won the belt from won the US belt in the US. They needed another big title match, and right now Jay White is in the US, so they've sent Tanahashi back to Japan so he can go up against his rival Ibushi. Now they were part of a tag team last year with Ibushi having to bring up Tanahashi because Tanahashi was on his downhill, right? But then Ibushi passed him. Ibushi beat him, and now we're seeing this rematch. Please, okay. Now we're seeing this rematch. This is pretty. This should be pretty damn good match because it's Tanahashi and Ibushi, and plus Ibushi has been out for the past 2 months because he's had pneumonia. So this is, I don't know what to expect from Ibushi, but it should be a fucking banger no matter what. Next. Sorry, there's like a little robot going around, so I'm trying not to not hit me at the same time. It's dad stuff. Anyways, so night two. So now we're going with the second starter match. We're going with Momo again, Momo and Saya again versus Julia and Shari. Now, what's cool about Shuri is she actually went up against the champion Haya Shishida earlier this year. That got massive ratings. In my opinion, the best women's match of anywhere in the world happened between these two. She's a legit UFC fighter, so it's really cool that she's with Julia of Mono de Mundo, and they actually have the belts. So I kind of expect for this to be like a match for the belts, but who knows? It's New Japan, and sometimes you don't know what to expect with them. So boom. Next, now we have Bullet Club's World's Cutest Tag Team. I did not come up with that name. I don't know where the name came from, but they're the world's cutest tag team now. Versus versus Desperado and Kanemaru. Now Despy and Kanemaru actually won the IWP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Tournament, which no one watched, but it's neither here nor there. But now we're gonna see them go up against each other. Now what's significant is if Ishimori and ELP win the belt, they're bringing those belts to the U.S. because they're coming over during the U.S. tour, and they're going to be heavily featured in the Texas shows that's going to happen in 2 weeks. So I fully expect for the world's cutest tag team to fucking win. Okay, the robot just hit me. Okay, next. Okay, now now we're having Dangerous Takers versus Lij versus Chaos. Now, Dangerous Takers they in the last Dome match, Dangerous Takers beat Naito and Sonata, and afterwards, because the way New Japan works, if you want a title shot, you just show up to the ring and say, "I want you next." There's no rhyme or reason why Chaos is in this fucking match, but they just showed up and said they
We're gonna call it
pointed.
the Goldberg rule. That's
Yes.
what we know, the Goldberg rule.
Yep. Show up and be like, "Hey, I want you next." So this match this match should be a really good match, regardless how I feel about Chaos being in this. But Chaos will definitely lose, and Dangerous Takers will continue to be heavily featured, and this will continue to be the year of fucking Tanahashi. Fuck yeah. Next, okay, so now we have Hiromu versus Eagles. Now Hiromu is another guy who unfortunately got injured earlier this year, and he was doing commentary, doing some stuff with the crowd in the front. He was there when Eagles beat Despy for the belt. So now you have Hiromu's second match back. He actually fought Dookie in an event in August 27th. Which, if you thought because Hiromu was injured that he was going to come back kind of safe, fuck that. It is still the same fucking Hiromu doing crazy shit because that's just what Hiromu does, and that's the only thing he knows. As you can see here, also he's still pretty fucking crazy. So they were having a conference, and because Eagles wasn't there first, he had an interview with himself, and he put the Ishimori mask on. So that's the kind of guy Hiromu is. Yeah. And fun fact, Hiromu did beat Eagles during the yeah, he has to stop hitting me with that robot. Last year with the during the tournament, so we'll see if Hiromu can beat him again. Last but not least, Evil and Shingo. Um, Anyone that knows me knows how I feel about fucking Evil. Hopefully this will be kind of short. And I thought just maybe we're gonna get a straight one-on-one match, and especially because since Shingo just came back from having COVID, I thought it was gonna be like they're gonna try to hit a fucking banger. But no, I checked New Japan's website, and during them talking about this match, they're like, "Hey, will Dick Togo and and Jujiro show up and help fucking Evil?" So basically, what that fucking means is we're gonna get another motherfucking goddamn interference in the fucking heavyweight championship match. So it's gonna be 35 fucking minutes of fucking nonsense with a whole bunch of interference. And it's gonna be really annoying because I fucking hate Evil. He fucking ruins New Japan. Yeah. God, yes, on this exactly. He hates him too. So I'm hoping this should be done, and Evil can just go ahead and go do shit on the fucking undercards and do absolutely nothing because this will be fucking frustrating. Anyways, that's all I have. Sorry, Evil's kind of a trigger for me.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming and giving us your 12 cents about it, New Japan.
No problem. And see, just wait. This is what I keep dodging the whole time. This little damn thing. We got in the spaghetti sauce. Yes, it's one of those little air drones. So my son keeps throwing it in the air, and he keeps trying to hit me with it. So this whole time I've been trying to dodge it while doing my segment. So it was a
Well,
lot of fun.
good luck with that. We'll let you get back to
Yeah,
trying to survive.
yeah. Deuces, guys. Bye.
Moving right along, might as well get into what everybody's talking about right now. Our AEW segment. We'll bring in our AEW specialist, Mel.
Woo! Hi guys,
What's
how
up?
are you? Well, actually, not even guys, guy.
It's me.
Just
It's just
Joe.
me here today.
It's just you. And I am wearing my stud stash shirt, guys. Go support local wrestlers. There you go. I love this shirt, by the way.
Also, Stud Stash is on the mend right now, so if you need some merch, Stud Stash is your boy. Hit him up.
Exactly. He's got all the merch, guys. He's got the best. He's got the best shirts, by the way.
Yeah.
So talking about AEW, it's hard to follow Jack with Angel. He's got such energy. The big change so far to All Out on Sunday is the big match, which I'm really sad about. But Andrade is apparently having visa issues, so the All Out match between him and Pac has been postponed. They say it's gonna be put on a Dynamite down the line, which makes me sad. That is a pay-per-view level match. That match is gonna be an absolute fucking banger. I mean,
Right.
The build up to it is crazy. I love it so much, and now I don't know. That kind of let the air out of my tires a little bit. That it's not going to be on All Out. But I mean, visa issues. What are you going to do? I mean,
Right.
All that crap. So I love it. They announced that there's going to be more women in the Casino Battle Royale now, which is awesome. You know, Anna Jay is back. Kylie King's in there. Abaddon's in there. Thunder Rosa's in there. And they've decided to take that out of the buy-in and put it into the main show, which means it's gonna be I think they're gonna have some surprises up their sleeve. You know, my thing is I'm expecting Ruby Soho, and I think a lot of other people are expecting Ruby Soho to show up. She's been doing these little vignettes, dropping them on social media, and they are amazing. I love them so much. Just little Easter eggs in every single one. And I don't know. I just like, after all that lead up, if she doesn't like debut or pop out or something, man, I'm going to throw something at the TV. I tell you. I can't be the only one expecting it. I feel like a lot of people are expecting her to show up in some kind of capacity. Yeah. In some kind of capacity, you know, even if she doesn't show up on the Battle Royale, whatever. But I love the fact that they moved it out of the buy-in into the main show. But of course, like I said, a lot of things had to be reworked because I mean, one of your biggest matches of the night is now on the back burner. We got to see this past week a little bit of Punk in action and kind of square off. I know, which was exciting. I must admit, I popped for it.
Yep.
I wasn't too sure about these guys 2.0 because I didn't see them a lot when they were on NXT. And of course, Daniel Garcia, who's been killing it on the indies. But man, I really like these guys so much. They can talk, they can work, and putting them against Punk and Darby Allin and just the matches they've had are just so amazing. And it's just like, it's another one of those things where you shake your head and you're like, damn, how did they let those guys go? Because 2.0, man.
That's crazy too. Like, so somebody spoke in an article recently about like FTR's contract expiring because it was only a 1-year deal.
Right.
And everybody was kind of like, oh, what a ball drop by AEW and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you got to look at what they're doing though. Like, this gives people the ability to come in and out. FTR dropping out has allowed 2.0 to step in. And I mean, I've seen clips of 2.0. I haven't seen anything live, but I like them so far from what they're doing at AEW.
I do too. And I like their chemistry with Daniel Garcia. I think it was smart to put them together. And I love that the way they cut promos and the way they talk. It's just, it's so good. And it's just, I don't know. They've got something. And I love the fact they've been, they're already all elite. Daniel Garcia is not all elite, but I think they've already said they have him on some kind of, like a contract already, like an appearance contract, which is great because he does have something. I would like to see Daniel Garcia try to take, I know he's already trying to take Darby out, but you know, him and Punk had some chemistry in the ring there. So I'd like to see that. I'm just excited. to see Punk back in action. So that little taste they gave us, you know,
And
this
it was
past
like
Wednesday.
it was a good setup. It was like that triple move where you have Darby doing the coffin drop, you have Sting doing the Scorpion Death drop, and then you have Punk doing the GTS.
And I know people give him shit about the GTS. Guys, he still probably has a little bit of ring rust, and he's wearing jeans, and he's still got his knee up there. I'm not giving him shit for it. I'm not at all giving him any shit for it. Whether he hit the guy on the shoulder, on the head, to me, he executed it. It wasn't perfect. No. Did he do it? Yeah. Come on. He did the damn
thing. I know.
thing.
Everybody has that expectation. Like the 7-year back GTS has to be the most perfect one. And
yeah, I
think give it a break, guys. Like calm down, relax.
Exactly. It's like, come on, guys, give him a break. He even said he hasn't training as hard as he used to. So let him get back into the groove of everything, man.
Can we just reference the fact that the GTS is one of the most dangerous moves in wrestling, like even as a setup move? Like it's just one of those, like it takes a lot of trust in that person. Yeah. So I mean, like unless you're going to be able to say, oh, I can go in there and show you a perfect one, like relax.
Yeah, exactly. Even Sammy Guevara does a modified version to it. So
a lot of guys do.
So no one's doing it exactly the way Punk does it. But I'm excited. I'm excited for All Out. I will be having my anniversary dinner on Sunday, 10-year anniversaries, and it will be on in the background, just so y'all know.
How rude of AEW to schedule their show on top of your anniversary.
I know. What the hell, guys? But it's cool. It'll be on in the background. Because we can't have anniversary without wrestling on.
How have you been feeling about the Christian Cage scenario? There's a lot of fans online that were really shitting on the current storyline with Kenny Omega and Christian Cage. And I'm like, I mean, all we've ever wanted was people to have that show up out of nowhere to have some legitimacy to the title. And you talk about a former champion, you talk about somebody that's been on a run this year, somebody that was in the Royal Rumble, and now he's jumped ship to another company. Like, y'all got to relax. I think the storyline's great.
I do too. I think what people are failing to realize that they just took Christian Cage, who was probably there to, let's help out the other guys or whatever, but the guy can still go. He and Matt Hardy can still go. They're still putting on really good matches. They're still educating the young guys. But he and Kenny Omega have such chemistry. And the fact that they're playing on what Don Callis did back in Canada back in the day is awesome, because they've turned this whole thing around where it's almost like this storyline 20 years in the making.
Right.
I mean, how can you not enjoy that, where Christian Cage is telling Don Callis, yeah, you are a carny piece of shit. I mean, he's calling him out in the ring. It's driving the whole storyline. I love it. And I think it was well deserved that he took those titles off of Kenny Omega. If anybody was going to take if anybody was going to take the titles off of Kenny, it had to be somebody with some legitimacy to him. It couldn't just be like, no offense to Jungle, but it couldn't just be Jungle Boy winning him. It's like, no, not after everything he's gone through. It makes sense that Christian Cage takes the titles off of him, because it's Christian Cage, man.
Right.
Like, who else would you want to take the title off him? And then, of course, on top of that, you still kind of have on the back burner the Hangman story. It hasn't gone away. It's still there. It's still lingering. So I like it. I like their storytelling.
Were you watching TNA when Christian made the jump from WWE to TNA?
No, I mean, I think I stepped away from a little bit, but I mean, I would pop in every once in a while. But
that was the big deal. Like that was one of the first times a big, like, Christian was over in WWE. Like when Jeff went, it made sense. Jeff was having financial, drug problems, all the shit. But Christian was over, and they were trying to get him to stay, and he was doing good shit in WWE. And then all of a sudden he shows up in TNA, and people forget that how he won the championship there. Very similar. It happened very fast. They put that title on him real quick. That it brought legitimacy to the run. Christian Cage is, to me, Christian getting the title is very Christian. It is very Christian Cage.
I agree. I'm enjoying it. I like it. I mean, I think people, everybody wants like, oh, give it to the young guys, blah, blah. Yeah, no, it's great. But you also got to build up the young guys. And this is how you do it. Because you're putting the young guys against Kenny Omega. You're putting the young guys against Christian Cage, and you're putting these guys with, alongside Christian Cage. You had Jungle Boy and Jurassic Express like being kind of like the backup to Christian Cage, and it's like that's how you do it. I think they're doing it the right way. I think they're doing it to give the titles also proper respect. People were already complaining that, oh, Kenny's not doing this with the TNA or with the Impact titles, and Kenny's not doing that. Well, no, because Kenny is like, holds 3 belts in 3 different companies. So if anybody was going to take the title off him, it had to be Christian Cage, so he can go to Impact, and it makes sense because he's got a history with Impact, to go over there and give more time to the titles. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
I like it.
That people try to apply that like WWE mindset, because you have to remember, essentially most of the mindset in professional wrestling has been WWE/WWF throughout the years. There's been competitors that showed up and showed showed legitimacy, but fans are still applying that WWE booking mindset in other places that WWE talent is at. Like, they're trying to apply this booking mindset to GCW product, to AEW product. And I'm like, man, everybody's trying to be their own thing, which is all that anybody ever really wanted them to be.
Yes.
Now everyone's just complaining. And I think we've said it before, you guys have to relax and calm down when you don't guess right. Like, that's part of it. Like, I'm going to tell y'all some real shit. Me and my wife watch movies, and I hate this girl because she's always sitting over here like blurting out shit that's happening. Like, she's like, that guy's the killer. That guy's going to rob a bank. Oh, I bet they end up in love or they die. And the reality of it is, most of the time, Ashley is right. And when she's not right, boy, it riles her up. But that's part of the fucking fun. She doesn't just start screaming at the TV because the killer's the wrong dude. Y'all have got to chill.
Exactly. It's wrestling. And I think that's the problem, that so many people, and I see it all the time, and I've even like done it. I'm like, man, I wonder why they didn't do this. And my husband gets upset with me, and he's just like, that's WWE booking. He's like, you gotta stop that. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Because
100.
people want this instant match. And it's like, I don't want an instant match, because then you've got them battling it out, as you see, 5 times until we get to the pay-per-view. And I'm like, why do I want to watch the pay-per-view when you just had them battling it out with 3 DQs and this rubber match back and forth? I was like, I don't want to watch the pay-per-view because of that match now. You guys have lost my interest. But we see the buildup that has been. I mean, we both know Darby's a face, CM Punk's a face, but there's still buildup, legitimate buildup to their match. They've just been staring at each other. They haven't put hands on each other. Darby came and helped him in the ring against Daniel Garcia in 2.0, but there's still something there, and there's still some buildup, and I like the way it's done. You don't have to have 8 rubber matches to lead up into a pay-per-view.
Well, not only that, like we talked last week, you mentioned people being pissed off that CM Punk chose Darby Allin. And my question to everybody is like, who else is he going to pick? Like, I understand it might not be the no-brainer, like right out of the gate choice. To me, it was like, it made a lot of sense. Darby Allin is the type of guy, like one of his first matches was with Cody Rhodes in AEW. Like, they had that killer match. He's won the TNT title. He's done a lot of cool shit. You talk about somebody that can take care of Punk and cover up that ring rust. Like, there are going to be a lot of things that Darby Allin can let Punk do to him that don't make Punk have to have a 25-minute all wrestling match.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to remember, like, Punk's got to come back. And Darby Allin is not green. You guys all have seen him. You've all known his product. I mean, when you look at Darby's resume, you're talking about guys like Sami Callihan, half of CZW, half of WWE, most of AEW. Like, Darby's wrestled everybody. Why can't Darby wrestle CM Punk? It makes perfect sense. And they've immediately said Darby's in the up in the catwalk with Sting. Like, it's perfect. Y'all gotta chill out.
It's so good. I mean, there's sometimes you just have to sit back and stop overanalyzing and just enjoy it. And there's a lot of moments like that where people love to be the smart, and they're like, I know what's going on, and I see. That's great, but you're also killing it for yourself as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, you got to just sit back sometimes and enjoy the wrestling, enjoy the product, enjoy the long-term storytelling. I mean, I think that's one thing that people have forgotten, is that it's okay if a storyline is drawn out over a year or 2 years or months, it doesn't have to be instant gratification. I thought I enjoyed the fact that it was going to be Darby Allin, especially because Darby Allin's last match, I think, was, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was Ethan Page.
Oh, I don't know.
That coffin match where he did the coffin drop into the coffin.
Oh, yeah, I know the match.
And so I think that the fact that Darby Allin, he's not seen every week doing the same matches. They take his time with him. You know, they pick his moments. You know, I love that so much. And I feel like it's the same thing with like with Orange Cassidy. Yes, he's out there doing his thing, but they pick his moments to where, or he picks his moments and they pick his opponents very well. I mean, he hasn't gone against slouches. I mean, he went from like a Chris Jericho feud into like this Matt Hardy feud, and it's just done so well. I do feel bad for Matt Hardy. I feel like he is battered and bruised in AEW a little bit more than he's used to, but he's such a trooper though, you know. He seriously cannot kill Matt Hardy.
The thing that everybody forgets is like everybody was with AEW when they first started. And if y'all remember, like AEW was very much like, we're going to have the ranking system. We're going to make this. We're going to make that. AEW's kind of stayed true to a lot of that. Like Darby Allin's got a lot of wins. He would have a decent ranking. CM Punk is brand new. Like, I think it's great to see all the new stuff. I think it's great to see people trading out. Like, if you remember, a lot of people's complaints about WCW was the fact that you would see guys like Eddie Guerrero, La Parka, Chris Jericho, Juventud, Chris Benoit, Shane Douglas. They would be on TV every single week, but they weren't doing anything. Like, I understand that everybody wants to make the quick comparison of, you know, what do they call it? Food in the back, catering. Just because your favorite wrestler wasn't on TV last week doesn't mean he's buried in catering. Like, I know we don't cover WWE on the show, but one of the very interesting things I've been hearing all week is people talking about how Drew McIntyre has just been forgotten. I'm like, well, he's not the champ anymore. Like, it's somebody else's turn. The same thing will happen with Kenny Omega. The same thing will happen with Christian Cage. The same thing will happen with other people. The wheel turns. That's just how it goes. I mean, I like it. I want – guys, take it from me. Patience is a virtue. I think Scorpio Sky should have been the first AEW champion, but I'm still waiting.
Yep. I mean, I agree. I mean, yeah, there's so many guys that I feel like they should have gotten a push, but I'm waiting for them. I don't – like, there's certain things that I'm kind of like, okay, I'm wasn't on board with that first. Like, I wasn't on board with, like I'll use Scorpio Sky as an example. With the whole Men of the Year, I wasn't on board with it at first, but man, I like them together now. They finally have fused. They found their chemistry and they work really well together. I wasn't sure how it was going to be, especially since they broke up SCU, but I get that, you know, Christopher Daniels had to bow out gracefully. You know, he's 50 years old. His body wasn't taking it anymore. Of course, he's still in the back, but you know, I love the fact that Frankie Kazarian has become this elite hunter. I'm kind of wondering to see how that turns out. I like his character. He's also gotten in like better shape, grown his hair out. I mean, it's crazy. And then of course, Scorpio Sky moving along with the Men of the Year, it's finally starting to gel, and those storylines are starting to move along, which is great. But I like I said, I'm may not like something at first, like the Men of the Year. I wasn't sure about it, but as things have progressed, I see where they're going with it, and I'm like, okay, I can get into it now. But I think that's the problem with a lot of fans, is that they don't give it enough time. They don't see it for what it is. I think like, you know, like the whole Matt Cardona winning the title against Nick Gage, people were pissed off, people hated it. But after a while, when you like see what it did and see what happened, it makes more sense. You're like, yeah, that's the way it was supposed to go, because man, just the uproar, and he just knows how to twist the knife into the fans to get them even more riled up. You know,
okay, real talk. I'm going to say something here because I'm going to share this with the world. I had this thought today. Yeah. Shane and Paul in the Baracho Crew chat are the exact reason why Matt Cardona works. Like, none of us like in the Baracho crew chat are ever like talking shit to each other about deathmatch wrestlers. Like we're never like, oh yeah, this guy's the best. But you bet your ass that Shane and Paul every other day are popping up. How come you guys don't talk about the king of deathmatch wrestling, Matt Cardona? And I'm like, man, I can't wait till they take this title off of him. But it's good. Like honestly, like I think it's honestly hilarious. Like this is a good troll. Like this is a dude deserve this. Like no one's really trolling out of like malice or harm. Like everyone really likes the Cardona situation. Like I think this is one of those things. Like this was a swerve no one saw coming. Everybody thought that match was in the bag. Cardona was not only going to get dusted, but he was going to look stupid in a death match, and he did the exact opposite. And I just think that at that point in time, you have to really open yourself up and be like, "Fuck it, maybe I don't know what I thought I knew," and that shit was great, you know.
It really was.
Like
I loved it. I loved the whole thing.
Well, so it doesn't. Guys, for those of y'all just hanging out with us, it looks like we might have some technical difficulties, and Masha's not going to make it. I'm going to ask Mel one more question while I've got her here, and then I think we're going to wrap up. Where's Adam Cole?
Go ahead. Oh, I don't know. Adam Cole, man. Here's the thing. We've talked about, we've mentioned it before, that NXT is not the NXT it used to be. They are cleaning out the coffers. They're cleaning out,
it's
everything.
done. Chapter 1 last night. It's chapter 1 of the new NXT. Like this is the thing.
It's a do-over. I don't see Adam Cole going to the main roster. I don't see him going to Raw. I don't see him going to SmackDown.
No, WWE
I just feel
off
like
the table.
Yeah, no, I feel like if he were to go to either one of those brands, he's done. He's buried. He's Bo Dallas.
Yeah,
I just don't know
what hottest free agent we have ever seen. Somebody made a fantastic point. This is a guy that got begged in the face by Vince McMahon to stay and work, and he was like, peace out. I think this is like Adam Cole is probably working on a mega deal right now that lets him touch everywhere. He's got New Japan roots, which means he could easily have Impact roots. He could work any indie scene. He could work GCW. Like, this guy's ticket is open anywhere.
Absolutely.
But I think he ends up in AEW. I think
he ends up in AEW. I honestly think that that's where he's going. I feel like they're trolling too much. Either AEW is trolling, or I shouldn't say even AEW. The Elite and Britt Baker are trolling so hard that he's either going back to New Japan and then making his way to AEW, or he's coming straight through AEW. But I feel like he's going to do something else. He's going to show up somewhere else.
Bryan Danielson. I think he's Bryan Danielson's contender. Like, wouldn't it be great if it was just true blue Adam Cole and Bryan Daniels shows up? Oh, this yes, and then bam, Adam Cole right back at it. And those two could go. Like, you talk about two guys that could put on a 5-match feud right out of the gate in AEW. Adam Cole and Bryan Daniels. Oh my God.
Oh, I definitely think so. I think that, I honestly feel like maybe at All Out, now that they may have to pull a card before, now that their big match is out, they may have to pull a card early and deliver something. So I'm wondering if we get another debut, whether it's Adam Cole or not, that somebody comes out that you were not expecting. Like I said, unless it's Ruby Soho, I don't think that they would want to overshadow somebody else. But there's so many free agents out there that are so hot that it could possibly be,
But Adam Cole is unpaid. Like, that's the thing I keep telling everyone. Like, everyone talks about patience as a virtue in this. Like, Adam Cole is 100% unpaid in wrestling right now. He's free agent, and whatever he's doing, he's sleeping on it. So there's not any indie bookings. Like, nothing is happening. Like, that is a big, big sign.
Really
like, wrestlers of his caliber do not go, like, unbusy. Like, he's top dog on the list. I think Adam Cole is AEW bound, and I think we see him easily in September for sure. If not in New Japan. Like, we see Adam Cole very soon, but my guess, maybe not All Out, but probably.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're going to see him soon. Like I said, I don't know if he goes New Japan first and then comes to AEW, or if he goes AEW then New Japan, but I do see him maybe making a pop back over, either some kind of a Bullet Club thing or something like that. And he's like, hey, what's going on, guys? there's just too much trolling for it not to be something.
I think he's no faction. Adam Cole has been a part of a faction for the better part of 7 or 8 years. And I think he goes no faction when he goes to the Indies. And I think that's why the AEW troll is so hard. They want you to think that he's going to join up with the Super Elite, and I really don't think he's going to get a faction.
No, absolutely not. He's too much of a babyface. They're too much of heels. I'm just so excited to see what happens because of it. Adam Cole is just one of those guys where wherever he goes, it's gonna blow up. I mean, it's gonna be amazing. And I just think that as big of a pop that Punk got, this may just be another one to where it just shuts down pro wrestling tees.
I agree.
Thank goodness they put in a new ordering system. But yeah, no, this is definitely going to be another one of those pops that shuts the internet down, shuts down wrestling, Twitter or whatever. But yeah, it's wherever he goes is going to be amazing. But I have to admit, I love all the trolling. Troll me more. Put up the pictures, put up the memes of, picking up pictures with him now before she couldn't. So I love it. I mean, even Miro did it. And once Lana got axed, future endeavored from WWE, he started mentioning her now, and he mentions her a lot more. So I like it. I enjoy it because I don't know. It's just funny to me that you're not allowed to mention the other person because they're behind this wall of another company. But once that wall's lifted, all bets are off.
Yeah. Well, guys, it looks like Masha's not going to make it. I won't tie up our AEW specialist any longer. Mel, thanks for sitting around for an extra 15 minutes and shooting
Absolutely.
the numero.
Sorry, guys. I did get a message from Masha. She did get tied up. This girl's always busy, man. They got her working on a Thursday night, but it's cool. She will be back, guys. I promise. She apologizes profusely. Very, very, very much.
Find out what she thinks about pineapple on pizza somehow.
I mean, she's Russian. Doesn't she go for borscht on pizza? I don't know.
Yes, I don't know. Mel, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, guys.
I'll see you next time.
All right, thanks, guys. Or guy. Bye.
Sorry about that, guys. I tried to drag on with as much interesting conversation as I could. I enjoyed the talk we had, but just to kind of recap the show, a couple big things coming up. We got GCW Art of War Games coming up. PPW September 25th. Coronation. If you don't have your tickets, get your tickets. Tag team tournament. Bryson Scott's Machine Gun Open Challenge. I'm all about it. I'll be there. I hope to see you guys as well. We talked a lot about New Japan. We talked a lot about AEW. And lastly, I just want to close out reminding you guys that In the Pit is always here for y'all. You can shoot us a message on our page. You can shoot me a message, Josh, any of us. If anyone needs to talk, we're here for you. And if you don't want to talk to us, talk to somebody. Don't suffer alone. Don't suffer in silence. We're all here for you. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and just send us off. This is it for the Numero Dos Takeover, baby. I'll catch you next week. Bye.